Right, y'all. AEW Dynamite review for April 20th, 2022. It's a better show than last week. A lot of, or they advanced the world title picture tonight, and they building up more for the MJF Wardlow feud. I thought that was a good show tonight, better than last week's. We had a lot of matches tonight. We had CM Punk versus Dustin Rhodes. We're calling it a dream match. There was Blackpool Combat Club versus Dante Martin, Brock Anderson, and Lee Moriarty in a six-man tag. Wardlow versus The Butcher. We had Jungle Boy versus Kyle O'Reilly in the Owen Hart tournament qualifier. Hook's Dynamite debut. Britt Baker versus Daniela. Some jobber, I guess, in the Owen Hart tournament qualifier. So we had two tournament qualifiers. And then the main event was Darby Allin versus Andrade in a coffin match. All right, let's get to it. First match, CM Punk versus Dustin Rhodes. Dustin goes for a crossbody. Punk moves out the way, and then he lands outside the ring. Punk drops elbows on Dustin's legs, and then Punk kicked Dustin's legs while he was on the apron. Send him crashing on the apron, and then Dustin kicked Punk into the turnbuckle, and then Dustin punched Punk 10 times while he was in the corner, and the crowd counts along with him while he's doing the punches. Dustin hit a code red on Punk for near fall, and then Dustin hit a power slam for a 2 count. Punk locked in a figure 4, and then Dustin rolled over to counter it. He got to the ropes. Dustin hit the crossroads and a pile driver for a near fall. Punk went for the GTS. He couldn't hit it. So he fell down, and then Punk just pinned him for the win. Very technical match. And yeah, so it was a solid opener. So after the match, while Punk's walking to the ramp, Hangman Page's music hits, and he comes out, and they just have a stare down. So they're building towards world title match, looks like. Should be more build next week. Next up, we got Blackpool Combat Club versus Dante Martin, Lee Moriarty, and Brock Anderson, with Arn Anderson, and then with the Blackpool Combat Club's William Regal. All right, so Brock hit a spinebuster on Mox. Lee hit a capture suplex on Brian, and then Brian hit a shoulder capture suplex on Lee. And then, so this was kind of cool. Brian did the stomps to Lee Moriarty in the head, Lee Moriarty. And then same time, Yuta and Moxley, they elbow the other two in the chest. So they're doing all this at the same time, the elbows to the chest and the stomps to the head. So that was kind of cool. And then Mox hit a paradigm shift on Dante for the win. That was a decent match. They just got to get a long feud with somebody. Blackpool Combat Club. They're just beating up all these teams, I guess, to get them wins and then build them up and then to get them a big feud, I guess. So we'll see what happens. All right, next up, we got the big announcement, Tony Khan's announcement. On June 26th, there's going to be a super show, AEW New Japan Super Show. So it's going to be a pay-per-view. I thought it was going to be like a regular Dynamite episode, but it's going to be pay-per-view. And then, yeah, so no matches announced yet, but, so we'll see who matches up against who. AEW versus New Japan guys. All right, next up, we got Wardlow versus The Butcher. So before Wardlow came out, MJF and Spears are up in the skybox. MJF says Wardlow is a nobody and he gets no music for his entrance. And then like 10 security guards come out with Wardlow and he's good. They got him in handcuffs. It's like airport security everywhere this guy goes. Crazy. Anyways, we got so match starts. Butcher hits a powerbomb for near fall. Wardlow hits 4 power bombs for the win. So yeah, it was not that great of a match. And then after the match, the security he tried to. So Wardlow goes on the steps, and he pretends he's gonna go at one of the security guards. The security guard falls down, and then they put the handcuffs on him. So that was it. They escort him to the back. Next up, we got Kyle O'Reilly versus Jungle Boy in a Owen Hart qualifier match. All right, so notes here. Okay, so it was a very technical match in the beginning, or for most of it. Jungle Boy hit a clothesline on Kyle O'Reilly on the outside. Jungle Boy does a DDT, and he turns the DDT into a guillotine. Kyle hit a exploder suplex, and then Kyle's hanging upside down in the corner. Jungle Boy hits a sliding drop kick. Kyle had Jungle Boy in an ankle lock. Jungle Boy counters into a snare trap. Kyle gets to the ropes. Kyle hits a superplex and a brainbuster, and then hit a driving knee to the back of Jungle Boy for the win off of the top rope. This is an okay match. So Kyle O'Reilly is the second one in the Owen Hart tournament on the men's side, with him and Samoa Joe. They've qualified so far. So we'll see probably on Friday Rampage or next week Dynamite who else qualifies. And we got a segment with MJF and Sean Spears in the back. MJF says, I'm a snake. MJF said, and then he says, when I said those words, men, women, and children grew sick in the stomach, much like a snake. When I decide you are my prey, doesn't matter how big or bad you are, Wardlow, all it takes is one bite. And then Sean Spears gives MJF an envelope with money. Jake Roberts shows up, and then while he's doing his promo, Lance Archer cuts him off. So he doesn't need money, so they're gonna MJF send Lance Archer now after Wardlow. So that match, they didn't announce it for next week, or can't remember if they did or not, but probably next week or the week after. So Wardlow's gonna beat him too. Yeah, so this is what was needed for MJF and the Wardlow feud, just a promo by MJF or one of them to build it up more instead of the Wardlow coming out and then security just jumps them and then that's it. Been doing that for almost a month, so this is a good build up for this match. All right, next up we got Hook's Dynamite debut. It was against some jobber, never heard of him, and then so we just squashed him, and then the Danhausen guy shows up that he does the point thing, points at him, the Danhausen curse. And he says, Danhausen grabbed the mic after the match and he says, you won't be cursed by Danhausen, you will fight Danhausen. And then Hook just walks away. So I don't know, it's just kind of random. Not really interested in Hook versus Danhausen, whoever this guy is. All right, next up we got Britt Baker versus Danielle Carmella and Owen Hart tournament qualifier on the women's side. So they're in Pittsburgh, Britt's hometown. She comes out with two Pittsburgh Steelers, Najee Harris and Firemouth. They're holding terrible towels and stuff. Well, during her entrance, Britt Baker hit a sling blade and a super kick. Britt hit a neck breaker and a curb stomp, and then she put the lockjaw in for the win. She grabbed I think Najee Harris, she grabbed a glove from him, a Pittsburgh Steelers glove, and used that for the lockjaw instead of her regular glove that she uses. And then after the match, she got on the mic. She's pretty much just talking shit about other women in the division. Ruby Soho, she said, oh, you're a runaway. She said, Tony Storm, you won't get a pie in the face. I forgot what else she said. And then you'll get fired from here too or something. And then who else did she go? Oh yeah, she went at Jade Cargill. She said, I'm the best bitch on the block. So it could be Villanova, Britt Baker, Jade Cargill match. Could be Britt Baker not giving Jade Cargill her first loss. So we'll see what happens. All right, next up, we got the main event. Darby Allin versus Andrade Idolo in a coffin match. So the match starts off, Darby attacks Andrade with a skateboard. Mark Quinn and Blade show up to help Andrade. So they start beating him up, and then they fight into the crowd. Andrade hits Darby Allin with his skateboard. And then there's a fan. He's got like one of those fan masks, sting masks. And his sign says, "Oh, I'm here for Darby Allin." And Mark Quinn just slams the sign down and rips it. And then the guy takes the Sting fan mask off, and then it's Sting's face paint, so it's Sting. He just tend to be a fan. And then so they start fighting out there to the crowd. They go to where the stairs are near the crowd, one of the entrances. So and Mark Quinn hit Sting with the chair. Sting no-sell the chair shot. He had him on the railing while he hit him with the chair shot. And then Sting just shoves Mark Quinn off the stairs. And then he goes up the stairs, and then there's like a ledge there, I think, or something there. Sting jumped off the ledge and he landed onto Andrade, Blade, and Quinn. So yeah, 60-year-old man still doing dives off the ledges and shit. Guy's nuts. All right, so back from the break. They're Darby Allin and Andrade are in the ring. Darby is positioned in the corner with a chair on his face. Andrade set it up. He goes for the double knee to the face. Darby moves, throws the chair to the side, and then Darby goes for a coffin drop to the outside. Andrade catches him and does a German suplex on Darby. And then Darby put his arm on the inside of the lid. It was covered in thumbtacks. Darby Allin was like pressing his forearm against it, and then Andrade was like pulling it. And then Andrade picks up Darby out of the coffin, carried him to the back, or he carried him backwards towards the top of the ramp, and he suplexed him. And then there was a part of the stage that was covered in like metal, and then Andrade he threw Darby onto the metal part of the stage. And then they're back near the coffin. Andrade is on the apron carrying Darby, and the casket's open on the ground. And then he's trying to do like a slam into it, I guess. Darby counters it to a flipping stunner. And then Darby does a suicide dive through the ropes. And then that put Andrade in the casket. That was a real cool spot. And then Darby's about to close the casket, and then Jose comes out and he starts beating the shit out of Darby. And then he goes for like a pile driver or a power bomb or something. Darby counters it, and then he throws Jose onto the inside of the coffin lid, which is open with a thumbtacks on it. And then Darby closes the lid and wins. It wasn't that great of a main event, but I guess it was good if you were there like in attendance to watch it. But I didn't think it was a good main event. What else? Oh, and then at the end, Sting came out to celebrate with Darby, and then the Hardys were there. And the show, we were just on the stage. And the fans just started going nuts. Good episode of Dynamite tonight. World title match. Looks like the build should be building more next week between CM Punk and Adam Page. Blackpool Combat Club. They should start getting a feud going before the pay-per-view starts. We'll see who they feud with. Maybe with Adam Cole, is Red Dragon or Young Bucks, one of them. Pick any three of them to fight them, I guess. What else? Oh yeah, MJF Wardlow. The build-up's getting good now. Yeah, so maybe Wardlow cuts a promo next week. Build it up more. We'll see what happens. Yeah. So that was a good Dynamite. All right. See ya.